how do you feel about life now? How do you feel about your life? How do you feel about the experience? How do you look back upon this thing? What's different?
Oh, wow. I live on this vibration of gratitude a lot now that I never appreciated before. Like, I try and find something to be grateful for in every single situation. Intellectually, I knew that life sometimes throws you some things that you don't understand the silver lining now. At the time, if you'd have said, don't worry, one day something good will come of this, I would have absolutely said, it's the stupidest thing I ever heard. How can anything possibly good come from this? What about these people? Like, how are you going to tell them something good's going to come from this? And certainly me, like my whole life was turned upside down. And I managed to get through it. And I feel like my relationships are so much richer now because I appreciate my freedom every day. I go to the grocery store and I just walk around and watch all these people thinking, God, you guys have no idea how lucky you
Mm.
are. You're free. Like, you're just walking around, you're going to go, maybe you'll stop at Starbucks on the way out of here. You'll get a cup of coffee. You'll meet somebody for a drink. You'll go home, make dinner. And I took that for granted. That freedom, I just took it for granted. And I do not now. I will frequently just drive down the street and realize I got a second chance at life. I pray every day. I pray. I thank God every single day. The first thing I do is thank God for a second chance to live my life. And then the next thing I do is I pray for the families of the victims from the accident, that they can find joy in life, happiness in life, forgiveness. And I spend a lot of time during the day just being really grateful for so many little things that I in the past would have just not even focused on or thought about.
Are you
Um,
grateful for the experience?
I am. It's a hard question to answer because, obviously, if I could undo it, I would, just because of the so much pain that came from it for so many people. Um, so from that perspective, I would love to have taken a different route home that night. In terms of what it did to me, I think I'm a much better person now than I was then. And so I'm grateful for having had the experience.
Everyone who's watching this, you have a story to tell. It could be something that happened that you're ashamed of, that you wish never happened, that you don't want to revisit. And not necessarily telling you, we got to get this out so you can process it or whatever. No, that story that you have inside of you, one, there's a way to reframe it where you can start to see it as perhaps the best thing or one of the best things that ever happened to you. And also, perhaps you can share that story with others who will, in turn, just the way that Cher clearing her story has been so illuminating and clarifying and inspirational and perhaps even instructive for us. And if you have a story that you want to tell, whether you just want to tell it to me and have me, listen to it and give you some sense of how it might fit into life, your life, or whether you might help me want to bring it out into the world the way I'm bringing it out to Claire, just reach out to me. My information's in the show notes. Anyway, take a listen to the podcast and I will post more about Claire going forward.